News.
And I will quickly change the dates because tonight's news, it is
April 4th.
4th, if it'll let me change it.
It's not.
There you go.
There. Yep.
I got it.
All right, so we will start. So our first really big story from this last week, which kind of made Twitter go a little bit psychotic in terms of the Pathfinder world, is that Paizo announced this last week that its wildly popular adventure, the Abomination Vault. Abomination, what word was that? The Abomination Vaults will be released as a 5e compatible adventure in November of 2022. This mega dungeon crawl was originally released in 2021 as a 3-part Pathfinder adventure series published by Paizo. The adventure charges the players to investigate the Abomination Vaults under the Gauntlet, a strange and mysterious landlocked lighthouse. This created quite a stir in the Pathfinder community, on Reddit, on Twitter,
everywhere. YouTube.
There was a lot of response about this announcement, mostly of people wondering why Paizo chose to branch off one of their most popular APs, Adventure Paths, into their main competitor. And in a couple of announcements from some of the game makers and the executives at Paizo, they say, no, we are totally fine. We didn't do this because we're losing money, which you would expect them to say no matter what was going on behind the scenes. But this has definitely raised a couple of red flags for major Pathfinder players in feeling like Paizo is kind of selling out.
I love, there was a video actually done by the rules lawyer on YouTube, which he did a lot of good research into this. Paizo originally started as a magazine that created content for D&D 3.5. So they actually cut their teeth on doing content for D&D. And so his and some other creators' opinion is that they're creating this as the gateway drug. I have heard, and some of my D&D fans out there are going to have to tell me, that there are a lot of the modules for D&D, you actually end up having to homebrew a lot on there. And apparently the consensus is that Paizo's adventure paths are a lot better.
They're a lot better written,
really good. Lot more fleshed out. This one in particular, like the whole town is completely fleshed out. You're not going to have to homebrew really anything on here.
Yeah, and as the GM, it's really nice.
The idea is that if you get it into the hands of 5e people, they see how good Paizo's stuff is.
And then they start going,
and then they're like, well, I want to play more of them. Oh, they're in Pathfinder. Well, maybe I should pick up Pathfinder. So yeah, I think this could be a really good thing because a lot of people we've interacted with haven't tried Pathfinder just because they haven't tried Pathfinder. All they've done is Wizards of the Coast.
Or they've been into VTM or Cyberpunk. Like they've had very specific things, but it's like Pathfinder is always in the fringes and people want to try it, but they don't have an opportunity for, which is why they're doing Pathfinder Paizo. This isn't in our rundown, but it's made me think this. They're doing a beginner's box free play where you can go and create a character and play with one of the Paizo stamped GMs, which is, little do you guys know, Weston and I are actually Paizo stamped GMs. We're a part of their creator crew.
Yep.
But you can go and just play for free. You can go sign up on their website and you can play a game for free with some really phenomenal GMs that they have lined up. So if you're interested in Pathfinder and you've never played it before,
great time to
that's
start.
A good time to start. Okay, Weston, what's number 2?
All right, so the way you wrote this. So there's 90s Saturday cartoon mix with TTRPG in this awesome Kickstarter called Stage Heroism. It is from Kickstarter.
From their Kickstarter. Okay. Quotation.
So this is from their Kickstarter. Stage Heroism is a comedy/action tabletop role-playing game about legacies and failures. A rural-light love letter to Saturday morning cartoons of years past, as well as contemporary superhero cartoons that bend and sometimes nuke the tropes of the genre. already fully funded. The stretch goals are currently unlocked, and with 10 days to go, it looks like they will indeed meet all of their stretch goals. Their stretchy goals?
They're stretchy. Did I write stretchy?
You wrote stretchy goals. If they are, if you're interested, check out Staged Heroism on Kickstarter. It is a very goofy superhero-based one.
It really is like Power Rangers, like the way that you think, not the Power Rangers TTRPG, but like the way the TV shows are, where it's
Rita Repulsa,
like super over the top villains and ridiculous scenarios. So
I think more like the Tick.
Yes.
The Tick
Oh my gosh, I love
cartoon.
that cartoon.
Like that's the type of vein of this thing.
I love that so much.
Stretchy goals does sound more fun, doesn't it, Kev?
We're doing the stretchy goals.
So
when we eventually do our Kickstarter for Valitas stuff, we'll call them stretchy goals.
So if you are interested, if you have a nostalgia factor for those old The Tick and other silly superhero shows from the 80s, go check out the Kickstarter, Staged Heroism.
Yeah, you'll really enjoy this one. So next, if you have a Netflix account and don't know about the Dragon Prince, you've probably been living under a rock, especially if you're someone who really enjoys anime. But for those of you who do know it and love it, you will be excited to know that there is a TTRPG that has been created by Fandom Inc., and it is titled Dragon Prince Tales of Zadia. You guys, I didn't watch it. Weston watched it. Tales of Zadia. I didn't watch it. It is set in the world of Zadia and features all of the characters that you already know and love from the TV show. You can get digital copies now. They just went on sale this last week, and physical copies will be sent out as they are able to send them. I have a feeling it is a printing shipping issue because everything's a printing shipping issue nowadays. Anyway, if you are interested in checking that out and picking that up, you can go to Tales of Zadia. That's XADIA.com.
And last but not least, so we talked about a couple weeks back about some talk of a group who was trying to get Wizards of the Coast to break off from Hasbro. Mm-hmm. And their plan was to go to the shareholder voting that was going to happen soon and try and get their people in place in order to then force a vote to separate the two. Well, we have that 2 directors were chosen, and it doesn't look like they were theirs because they have stated that Wizards will continue to stay with Hasbro. So the effort at the moment is curtailed. They're not going anywhere. However, it was interesting, some statements made by the new CEO of Hasbro that rather than trying to Hasbro more Wizards of the Coast, he plans on making Wizards of the Coast change some of their stripes, which was some of the concern. Some people felt that the way Hasbro did stuff was shackling Wizards of the Coast a little bit, but he plans on making some changes in Hasbro that should help both brands grow and become stronger.
Yeah, so we'll see how that all pans out. I imagine there are going to be some changes kind of across the board. Whenever you have really big changes in executives and even in board members, there's normally changes that come down the pipeline.
Well, and both new directors come from online gaming, including one from Electronic Arts, which I've played a lot of video games from EA, from Electronic Arts. So I think we can expect a lot of digital gaming and online gaming in both Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast in the years to come.
Yeah, probably. All right, and for our very last segment, which is brand new, it's so stinking brand new, we don't even have a letterhead or an intro for it, but it is community announcements. So with everybody and everything that's going on in the TTRPG space, we felt that it would be kind of cool for us to kind of gather together some community announcements of people who want to give a little bit more light to their personal projects, their shows, their Kickstarters, their artwork, their whatever. It's kind of like what we were doing before with the Indie Roundup, but this is where it is submitted to us. If you want something with a little bit more attention drawn to it, you just shoot us a message either on Twitch, on Twitter. I got a couple of personal messages of things in the last couple of weeks to do with this. So if you have something, let us know and we will talk about it in community announcements. So for today, we only got one, which I was kind of sad about, but it's perfect. So Disaster Hamsters 2 is currently doing a Kickstarter for their second edition of their game. It was actually fully funded in 27 hours, so now they're going on to all of their stretch goals, and it's super fun.
Do you mean their stretchy goals?
Their stretchy goals! All of their stretchy goals. So the game premise itself is that there is a scientist who mastered the ability to make hamsters and other animals fully sentient. So you as a player are playing as a hamster.
Didn't they make a movie?
No, those were guinea pigs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
However, there are sentient guinea pigs, there are sentient scorpion and rabbits, and like there's a whole bunch of different whatever. It's super fun. So you get to play as the hamster and you deal with all of the intrigue and the mysteries and stuff that are happening as you are a hamster in a castle. It's actually really cool.
You know that the bad guy has to be the animal control guy. Like that every single animals can talk. The animal control guy or the zookeeper is the bad guy.
Okay, so no. So let me read this a little bit. So deep in the Feywild, nefarious scientist Hayley you guys, whatever names, has finally perfected the art of crafting sentient animals. Although the elf has designed many a creature, he regards his work with hamsters as the pinnacle of his achievements. Now, as a final test of his creations, Jerry plans to drop his adorable rodents into an enormous nature preserve, which he has filled with other small, intelligent creatures. In Disaster Hamsters 2, by plot hooks, your party plays as sentient hamsters or even some other little animals, adventuring through the sanctuary in this epic TTRPG book, which is compatible with 5th edition. So it's adorable. I've watched through the videos and done it's seriously so freaking cute. And I want to do a one shot with a bunch of kids.
Oh yeah.
Playing as the hamsters, get our son and a couple of his friends. That would be super fun. Anyway, so if you
do an activity days thing and bring over all the
boys,
9-year-olds,
oh my gosh, that would be
boys.
crazy. So if you are interested in checking them out, I just dropped the link in the chat and you can go over and help them go to their stretchy goals and all of that jazz. So there we go. And that is actually going to be it for tonight's episode of TTRPG News. But remember, if you have any community announcements, please shoot them to us and we will put some spotlights on them for next week.
And that's all for TTRPG News on today, Monday, April 4th.